Hey guys, this is Faster U4 brought to you by FitLab, Tailwind Nutrition, Biomaxa and Capital Cycles. If you're a cyclist, you want to go faster? Then let's giddy up. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Fast U4 brought to you by FitLab, Tailwind Nutrition, Biomaxa and Capital Cycles. Hey, bike racing on the weekend. This was an interesting, fun little event run by my local Masters Club. 2 time trials in one day. I'll tell you all about it. I will tell you about an interesting thing I learned about how much time a time trial bike really saves you. I tested it, I'll tell you. So if you're considering buying a time trial bike, you probably want to know this. And I'll tell you about next week's big race showdown in the North Island Team Series, which is one of my last races for the spring period. Alright, let's talk about yesterday's race. We had 2 stages put to you by the Mountain Masters Cycling Club out in tropical Upper Hutt in beautiful conditions. 20 degrees, fine calm conditions. I will take that all day long. We had a very short Hillclimb time trial up the Wallaceville Hill Road from Upper Hutt to the top of Wallaceville Hill, the road that goes over towards Whiteman's Valley. Second stage, I'll tell you about in a minute. Tell you about first stage. So we've got a hill climb here. Let's go through stats. It took me 4 minutes and 5 seconds. Distance of 1.7 kilometers, climbing 88 meters, 116 kilojoules. I'm going to say half a hamburger for that one. Very short. All right. Here's what you want to know about. Average speed 25.1 k an hour. Average power 472 watts, which was 22 watts over my original target. So that was good. That was a record power for me. 165 average heart rate, 176. So I think I was mixing up the red line on this one pretty much as well as I could. It's a pretty simple story, really. A nice little sharp acceleration for the first 20 seconds or so. Averaging for about 13 seconds, about 670 watts, getting up to a nice speed, coming take sharp lefty, and then hitting the climb. Managed to settle down to my target power within about another 10 to 15 seconds of the climb. And the majority of the climb there, well, got an average gradient of 6.4%, 3 minutes, 24 kilometers an hour, average cadence 97, just nice. I was sitting my big ring about 1 or 2 cogs down in the cluster, in a 30 or a 28, something like that. Everything looks pretty good. Average power 463, and then for the final, whatever it is, about 20 seconds or so, able to get out of the saddle and honk it up there. Power for the last 10 seconds or so of 671 watts. That's a picture of me at that exact point in time. If you're watching the screen, that picture is taken about 20 or 30 meters before the line or something. I've got my mouth right open because I'm trying to get in as much oxygen as I can. And a good ride. So the results for the Hillclimb time trial, I scored a ride time of 3 minutes and 3 seconds. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure where they're taking those measurements from. Seems a little short to me. But everyone's looks like that, so it's by the same margin, so maybe they're timing it from a point different from where I thought. It doesn't matter, it's all the same. So 3 minutes and 3 seconds, excuse me there. Nigel Page, 3 minutes 37. John Caron, 3 minutes 41, so only 4 seconds there. And then another, whatever it is, 31 seconds back to Paul Lewin. So that was good. That was a good start to the day. So let's have a look at stage 2, starting about an hour later. Was one of the last starters here. This is an individual time trial. And it's just an 8 or slightly over 8 kilometer course out and back down the valley. And there's some interesting stuff to come out of this. I'll tell you what that is in a minute. You can see if you're watching the screen. I've done some calculations up the top here, and I'll tell you what that's all about. That's about how much faster a TT bike is. I'll expand on that in a second. So I had a moving time of 12 minutes 34 seconds according to my Garmin. Distance 8.7 kilometers. This is climbing at 47 meters, so it's kind of like a false fly on the way out and a little descending on the way back, so it's much faster on the way back. Average of 41.4 k an hour, average of 372 watts, which was 22 watts above target power for me, which is 350, which was good. Average heart rate 165, max 175, so actually very similar heart rate situation to the Hillclimb TT. That's interesting. Cadence 96, that's a nice sweet spot for power for me. And let's see here. I mean, whenever I'm talking about a flat TT especially, I'm just saying, hey, you want to get up to speed with a good, strong burst of power within about, I don't know, 25 seconds, and then really just settle into your target power. Pretty simple. Well, let's zoom in, see how I did. This is my start here. If you're looking, if you're not, I'll explain. There we go, there's a start point, and I am to target speed in 25 seconds. Well, that was a good guess. Within 29 seconds, I have fallen back down to my target power. And there we go, quite happily honking along at, 360 odd watts, 357 watts there. Start power was a burst of about 20 seconds at about 438 watts. 549 watts, I should say. So, happy with that. The turn was okay, everything went okay. Honking back down, you can see the difference. The first, on the way out, the average speed was only 38.3 k an hour, but on the way back it was so much faster, 48.5, so actually almost 10 kilometers an hour on average faster on the way back, because it's maybe a tiny tailwind, but it was not much wind at all. It was really just because it was descending a little bit, I think. And that was good. So if we look at results for the individual time trial part of this, we had me with a measured ride time of 12 minutes 33, which does exactly match up with what I had recorded in my Garmin. Second, Nigel Page doing a good ride, 13 minutes 20, and Michael Bradley coming in third, 14:07. And if you look at the combined results, something interesting happened. I had a combined time of 15:36, but if you include the handicap, Brendan beat up like a maniac. 1 second, beat me by 1 second in the combined time, 15:35 versus 15:36, which was very cool. Good for you, man. Perfect conditions, calm and warm with a high cloud for the HTT, light southerly for the ITT. Brendan Bader took right over the day for sneaking and overall handicap win by 1 second, preventing Steve Bauer from a line and handicap double. So that was good. Congrats for you. Overall heads, in terms of actual time, ride time, me in first on 15:36. Nigel Page doing a great couple of rides there, 16:57. And John Climber Karen on 17:59. Limiting his losses a little bit in the ITT. A man that can go up hills, lacks a little bit of power on the flat, but he's getting better and better. Ooh, good to see. So once again, thank you to the Wellington Masters Cycling Club and the Marshals for putting on a great event. Garth Stewart, Hugh Butte, Murray Howe, Renata Temapo. Really appreciate it, guys. Cool event. There's a few photos from Brian Graham, John, me. This is the Hillclimb, if you're looking at these. Ross, we've got we've got all sorts of people there. Who's got a nice style? Hey, look, this is nice. Oh, he's actually standing, but he's got a nice style, old John Karen. I look a bit ragged. I actually like Ross's style, I've got to say. He's seated, he's kind of high and upright, he's producing good power. That's good. So that is great, and here's some, I'll close out of there and see. Can we see? Let's see. We've got, if you're watching the screen, there's some photos of the, I'll find it later, the time trial. I'll find it later. See if it's here. It's here. TT. Where's the TT? This picture of the TT. Here it is. See what people are riding. We've got mostly a lot of road bikes, road bike. There's like a road bike with TT bars, which is actually a smart way to go generally because its body position is the thing that really takes the most aero drag. Again, road bike with TT bars, road bike with TT bars. This is more of a dedicated TT bike. It's more of a dedicated TT bike, road bike, it's TT bike. Now, let's just fast forward. I don't know if you can see this. Is me, and there's a side on. There we go. All right, let's have a look. If you're looking at this, you're looking at a side on picture of me on what looks like a Franken bike. That is my road bike with a disc wheel on it, and me wearing a skin suit and a TT helmet. So this moves on to my looning of the day, coaching tip of the day, if you like, which is what benefit does a full time trial rig have in terms of time over just say a road bike. Everything the same, except basically what you're doing is riding in. If you took away the road bike, the TT bike frame, and replaced it with a road bike frame, and of course giving you the subsequent slightly more upright position of a road bike, if you just control those two factors, you control everything else, I should say, and those two factors are the variables. If you're following me here, that's what I was riding here. So, in other words, if you just wanted to figure out how much faster a TT frame and, more importantly, position is in total, well, I had a chance to find out, and I had a chance to find out because I did bring my normal TT rig for around the second stage of this race, but I couldn't ride it. Because I had neglected to bring along a slightly narrower tyre. My TT bike only fits a 23 or 21 C tyre. It's the millimetres wide that it is. Anything bigger than that, like a 25 or 27, it rubs. In fact, it doesn't even rotate. It's pretty narrow in there. It's a copy of a Scott Plasma. I ride it's a Chinese open mold frame, which means it's a mold, carbon from a mold that isn't a licensed shape from a large manufacturer. So the way it works is that, you know, these giant Chinese carbon manufacturers in Taiwan and China and stuff, the way I get it is that they will try to sell and market their carbon molds and technology and things like that to big corporates like Giant and Trek and Scott and all these guys. Well, sometimes they're maybe not successful in their bid or however it works, and they have mold technology left, which is very expensive. The carbon in itself, the pre-preg, it's not really the expensive part. It's actually the mold and the labour. So what they do is they use the stuff they've got to make unbranded frames, and these are the types of things you see that are very cheap on eBay and AliExpress and even some dedicated websites and stuff. And I have bought 3 mountain bikes of that style of bike now. 2 hardtail, a 26-inch hardtail, a 29-inch hardtail, a full suspension 29-inch, which I've still got. I bought a road bike, a time trial bike, a track bike. So I've bought a lot of these frames. Without exception, every one of them has been very, very good. So you might ask why I'm riding this Cannondale as a race bike, because of the simple fact that the Cannondale is a little bit better. It's a little bit lighter, it's a little bit stiffer, which kind of sounds a bit subjective, but it's not. When you ride it and you're sprinting on it, you really do notice it. But as a training bike, or if you really want to save money, the Chinese open mold frames are very good. But anyway, so that's my TT bike. To tell you the truth, I would actually like to unload and pull the trigger on a really nice branded TT bike. But of course, last time I checked, money doesn't grow on trees, so I'm just going to have to hold that one for a little while. I'll go and talk to the good people at Capital Cycles and see what kind of wheeling and dealing we can do. But anyway, so back to what I was talking about before that sideline. I've got this open mold frame. One of the downsides is that it's a kind of it's a copy really, or a very similar design to a Scott Plasma. The forks are pretty narrow, and the crown in it doesn't really allow for anything bigger than a 23C tyre. Well, I didn't have that because I was swapping out the wheel from my road bike, didn't bring another tyre, blah, blah, blah. So, long story short, ended up riding my road bike, swapping over the disc wheel Zip Super 9 onto that, and running everything else the same as a TT. Same skin suit, same no gloves, same helmet and everything. So that obviously, because of the conditions as well and the nature of the course, it gave me a really good opportunity to see what's faster. I mean, you might, obviously everyone knows that there's two factors that make a TT frame faster. Small part of that, 10% of that, is probably the frame shape. So you have a narrower section, frontal area for the wind. There's probably other factors that improve the drag, but that's the main one. That's why you see more rounded tubes on road bikes and those kind of like fat tubes on a TT bike that are facing the wind. They're very narrow, but they're wider for strength, I guess. Probably for drag too. But so that's 10%, and probably the other 90%, 80 or 90%, is simply the fact that your body position is so much lower, so you can get your torso horizontal and you can get down on the handlebar extensions and present a much lower frontal area, not only frontal area but overall drag CDA for the wind because of the way the air goes over your body. So on a road bike, even down in the drops, it's not going to be as low or aerodynamic. So anyway, I had a chance to test. Let's see what I found using the analysis tool in Golden Cheetah. That's free software available. Just Google Golden Cheetah. You can find it for, I think it comes for Mac and for the other one, Microsoft. You can use a tool in there called the Chung Virtual Elevation Drag Analysis Tool or something like that. You need power data, so you need good, accurate power meter data, and you need to know how to pass the information, and also you need kind of the right kind of conditions in course, and you also need to be able to input some variables for the algorithm, such as road drag and things like that, which you can all estimate down to a very, very fine degree. And what that all came down to was the ability to determine exactly how much faster it was. So someone asked me after the race, how much faster would a TT bike be? I said something like 20, 30 seconds over that course was my best estimate. Well, get this. Go through the data. The coefficient of drag for the road bike with me on it and everything came out to 0.31. Okay. The TT bike, if I was on that, I know because I've measured it about 17 gazillion times, is conservatively 0.23. It could be somewhere as low as 0.21 to 0.22, but let's go conservative and say 0.23, okay? So you can see 0.31 versus 0.23. One thing to take into account is you can't put out quite as much power on the TT bike. I know from my power data history, I can put out for that time a minimum of 340 watts in that position. So I'll go conservatively again and say 340 watts on the TT. And I know on the road bike, I did 372. So when you plug this into, so I've got my drag, okay? So I've got my drag part that I've worked out from the analysis tool in Golden Cheetah. I've got my power data, I've got that from my power meter and my previous history. Okay, I've got all this data. It's solid data, and when you plug it in, you get an average for the day of 41.4 kilometers an hour. That's what I did on my road bike yesterday. I know that because I've got the data sitting right there, and that gives me a total time of 12 minutes and 37 or 34 seconds. So say 12 minutes and 34 seconds. TT bike, if you assume a drag 20.23, which is conservative, and you assume a conservative power 340 watts, that gives me 45 kilometers an hour, i.e. a total time of 11 minutes 28, I'd estimate. And that, ladies and gents, is 69 seconds faster on the TT bike. So it's a pretty short TT. I mean, 12 and a half minutes. That is over a minute, just over a minute faster, which percentage-wise, I mean, what is that, like 8-9% faster or something? And that is giant. So long story short, I mean, there is, you can extrapolate that further and say for a 40k TT, that's going to be, I don't know, what's the math on that? Say it was 8.7, so it's almost 9. I mean, times 4 and a bit. So 6, 4, 24. So that's probably close to 300, somewhere between 250 and 300 seconds faster. So a few 6 foot 25. So it's somewhere in the region of 4 to 5 minutes faster on a TT bike. Now, that could change a little bit depending on how good your position is relative to on a road bike, and it could change a few things. Also, sneeze. One thing about that is I wasn't using any clip-on aero bars yesterday. So those are the ones which you've got a little clamp, provides you some clamp onto your handlebars. It provides you a way of getting lower, reducing your frontal area. I do actually have some. I just didn't bring them because I didn't think I'd be using that bike. They allow you a way to get faster. So I would say if you're using a road bike with clip-on aero bars, you might get down to 0.28 or 0.27 or something like that if you're lucky. And as a matter of fact, I have measured myself on a road bike, it wasn't the same one, but on a road bike with clip-ons, and it was about 27, 28, 29, something in that range. Regardless, that's still miles away. And not only that, that's going to reduce, it will reduce your power because it'll reduce your hip angle. Look, long story short, guys, TT bike, I'm going to say anywhere between 6 to 9% faster, something like that, and that's pretty big. So that was interesting to see in the time trial. All right, so last thing is race 5 next week, or this weekend, of the North Island 2 Series road race series put on by George Sandoval. It's been another good series again this year, and I've talked about it a lot. And it's the final race, Masterton, Alfredton, Masterton, Sunday the 3rd of December 2017. The route is, I mean, if you're looking at the screen, it kind of looks lumpy, but it isn't really. It's maybe there's a couple of sharp climbs, but it's not. It's relatively flat and fast. So it's a out and back with a little detour for a few Ks for the final, which has this weird bit on the map that looks like it's up. It looks like there's a climb in the final, but I don't think there is. I mean, it probably is a climb over a few meters. So but because the course is quite flat, that profile is exaggerated, relatively flat. I mean, there are some little lumps, but nothing that's going to upset people much. So this is going to get pretty important because the point situation, of course, is in the balance. In Master 1, my grade, we have Brendan McGrath on 69 points and me on 68. So there's going to be some battle happening there. Matt Webber has done well in the last couple of races. He's been very consistent as well. On 59 points, he's still dangerous. And Andrew Young and Gary Hall, look at that, tied on points, 51 all. I'd say Andrew Young riding better. Although I don't know, Gary could be strong in the flats, so that's quite a battle for fourth there. And I mean, if Matt Webber has a disaster, one of those could get on the podium. So that's interesting, actually. Yeah. So that's quite a big battle at the head of Masters 1. On the top of Masters 2, you've got Gary Anderson and Hobe Buke tied on 77 points, which is, of course, going to mean all-out war at the top of that table, with Rob Kilmington in third on 61, Ian Paynton on 42 points, so he's a wee way further back. Both of those guys have missed a race, actually. Rob will be kicking himself about that. But the war between Gary and Hobe will be real. I really like Hobe as a rider. Very kind of plucky and aggressive, and has a good repeated power ability. That's up against Gary Anderson, who has class and lot of flat power on his side, previous New Zealand representative, so he's going to be a favourite for this course, but you don't count Hobe out ever, so that will be fascinating to see how that shakes out. And in the elite and under 23, you've got Marty Hartley-Brown, and look, Matt Webb-Smith tied on 68 as well. It's Josh Page only 2 points back on 66, Anthony Norder as well, 61, and then after that, 15 points, Andy Hagan, 41. So it's actually kind of like the top 4 guys, especially the top 3. And of course, Marty Hartley-Brown is running under 23, so he's not technically the same grade as Matt Webb-Smith, who's an open. But regardless, I'm sure both of them would like to win. So that is, so it's, I guess one good thing about the series is it's been so insanely close, which is good to see. No start list up yet by the looks of it. So I'll be out there. I'm looking forward to that. I'm just going to do my best. The team is fizzing, so I'm excited about that. So look, I'll leave it there. Thank you for a good fun race yesterday. Biomaxa Cycling Club, I enjoyed that. Alright, so I'll leave it there. As always, this is brought to you by FitLab, Tailwind Nutrition, Biomaxa and Capital Cycles. If you want a coaching plan from me, you can email me, steve@fitlab.co.nz, or go to fitlab.co.nz. I'll see you on the weekend. Thanks for watching / listening to Fast You Fall, brought to you by FitLab, Capital Cycles, Tailwind Nutrition and Biomaxa. If you'd like to get in touch for a coaching program or testing, you can get hold of me, steve@fitlab.co.nz, or go to fitlab.co.nz. Talk soon, guys.